Much of North Florida right now and several other states are dealing with the impact of Idalia. We have some video to show you of just some of the damage in Taylor County, where the storm made landfall as a Category 3 hurricane yesterday morning. The Big Bend region of Florida is sparsely populated, so while there was a lot of damage, there has only been one death reported in the state, and we don't see the widespread damage that we would have in a more populated area. So at least it was a pretty rural area. Unfortunately, one person did die, but at least the number isn't higher. Idalia is now a tropical storm when it reached the Atlantic coast off South Carolina, and you can see the damage that it caused in South Carolina. This is of the wind damage from Cherry Grove Beach. Lots of wind damage. The bigger impact, though, is the flooding. Some areas received 5 to 8 inches of rain, and in Charleston, South Carolina, storm surge pushed water over the seawall and into some of the historic neighborhoods. So tracking it right now, what it's doing, meteorologist Dirk Verdorn. Where is Idalia?
Well, this is still a strong tropical storm. It's actually gathered a little bit of strength as it's made its way over the Atlantic. So let's take a look at what's going on. Currently, it is a tropical storm, 65-mile-an-hour winds associated with it, and it's moving to the east at about 20 miles per hour. So it's moving along at a pretty good clip. The center of the storm is well off the coast of North Carolina. We're seeing the last little bands here of rain holding on to North Carolina and just a little bit of Virginia. But what we're going to take a look at here is just where we have some of that rain, heavier rains off the coast. But these are some of the strongest wind gusts that we've seen today in places like Nags Head, 52 miles per hour. Hatteras had 55-mile-an-hour wind gusts and gusts up to 40 miles per hour in the Straits. To the north in Virginia, wind gusts not quite as strong, but you can see here Norfolk had up to 41-mile-an-hour wind gusts, in Elizabeth City up to 38. And it's the heaviest rain right now is off the coast of Virginia, and that's all moving away from Virginia. So the overall pattern is this is going to continue to push out to sea, and it's going to weaken over the next few days. Lisa?
Thank you so much. President Biden has formally declared a major disaster in Florida following Hurricane Idalia. The declaration makes federal funding available to affected people in the counties of Citrus, Dixie, Hamilton, Lafayette, Levy, Suwannee, and Taylor. The federal assistance can include grants for temporary housing and home repairs, low-cost loans to cover uninsured property losses, as well as other programs.
As President Biden has stated in numerous phone calls, we are committed to bringing the entire federal family in here to continue to support. We are going to make sure that we always have the resources here from the federal family to support the current efforts, but also the ongoing recovery efforts that may be needed in these communities that were impacted by Hurricane Idalia.
Biden spoke with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis today to inform him about the federal disaster declaration. Now, DeSantis held a briefing this morning from the State Emergency Operations Center to update us on the latest on the situation. Governor DeSantis confirming that no fatalities are being reported.
But as of last night, there were approximately 40 successful rescues made, including 29 by the Florida National Guard. Our Fish and Wildlife officers assisted with the medical evacuation yesterday, and they are conducting high water and welfare checks. These efforts are continuing, and they will continue until there is no longer a need.
Federal first responders are traveling to the communities hardest hit by Idalia. More than 1,500 first responders are now moving into those areas as rescues and damage assessments continue. Thousands of people still remain without electricity, as you can imagine. Officials are asking people to check on each other, stay up to date on the latest evacuation orders and the forecast, and for people in the Carolinas and Georgia to prepare for hurricane-like conditions to last throughout the day. And Hurricane Idalia made landfall along Florida's Big Bend region, as we mentioned, on Wednesday, causing that widespread flooding that you saw and then significant damage to some homes and businesses. Now, as we said, it's been downgraded to a tropical storm, but it could still drop up to 8 inches of rain in the Carolinas before heading offshore. Wendy Woolfolk has the latest now from Charleston.
The sun is out, but Idalia is relentless as residents as far north as Virginia are feeling its rain bands and gusty winds. There is a tropical storm warning, though, still in effect for the entire coast of North Carolina. But here in South Carolina, last night's high tide was the 5th highest in Charleston history, 9.2 feet, and exacerbated by the storm surge and supermoon. But the cleanup in Florida is only the beginning, as the Big Bend region took the brunt of the storm. They are sifting through countless downed trees and power lines and destroyed structures that were simply no match for Idalia's strength. Thousands from Florida and Georgia to the Carolinas are without power, and that brutal summer heat here in the South is only going to make things worse. If there is one glimmer of hope, forecasters are predicting that Idalia will head back out to sea at some point this afternoon. That's the latest here in Charleston. I'm Wendy Woolfolk. Now back to you.
Yep, and we'll continue to follow this as our team of meteorologists, is led by Dirk Verdorn right now, continue to track Idalia. And if you are on the go, be sure to download the KCRA 3 app so you get updates sent straight to your phone.